This conference will now be recorded.
So, is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yesterday, I was talking about what is a class and what is a object and how to create a object. I told the syntax. So, by using a new keyword, you can create the object for a class. Yeah, this is what yesterday we are discussing, right? I told how to write a class and I told whatever you write in Java, you have to write it inside a class. And that is the first point. The second point I told is you can declare variables and methods, I mean functions. You can declare variables and functions inside a class. You cannot write anything else. You can write only variables and functions. You cannot write anything else inside a class. That is the second point I told. And I told that there is no meaning of these variables and functions without a object, because there must be some object existing so that all these functionalities will be present for that object. You can call these functionalities on that object. Otherwise, even though if you write 1,000 lines of code in the function, those 1,000 lines of code will never be executed without a object. Correct?
Okay.
So I want everyone to respond to my questions. When I ask correct, you should respond to me.
Okay.
I want everyone to be interactive. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what we learned yesterday. And I told how to create an object by using a new keyword. You can create an object by using new keyword. I told new employee, new human beings. So I told new human beings. This is the first object of human beings class we created. And this is the second object of human beings class. And this is the third object. This is the fourth object. And to identify the object, there must be some name given to the object. To identify the object, there must be some name given to the object. So the example I told yesterday is, for example, there are 5 students in the class. There are 5 human beings in the class. If I ask a first human being, a third human being object, what is the answer for this? Which human being object will respond? Who is the third human being object? How will you know that who is the third, who is first, who is second? So that's the reason there is a name for every object, correct? So when I say uh, whenever I call a specific person with a name, for example, whenever I call hold on. Yeah, so whenever I call Ryan, so Ryan will respond back to me a question. So what I mean is, hey Ryan, what is the answer for this? Then he will respond. That object will respond. That Ryan's object will respond. So Ryan is just a name to identify the object. Name has nothing to do. Name is not a object. Name is a identification to identify the object. Correct?
Okay.
So this particular object, this particular human being's object is identified by this name. This particular human being object is identified by this name. This particular human being object is identified by this name. So name is just to identify the object. This is what I told yesterday. Okay, this is just introduction class. Then I told that after creating the object and given the names to each object, now I can call ramji.c. So then the C functionality will be called on the Ramji's object. So Ramji is nothing but Ramji is not an object, it's a name to identify the object. This is the object, this is the actual object. So on this particular object, so the C functionality will be called. When I say listen, the listen functionality is called on this particular object. And when I call C functionality on this on Stravanti is a variable pointing to this object. Is a name. Stravanti is a name which is identifying this object. So on that object, this functionality will be called. And when I say Ramji dot first gear functionality, so does Ramji's object as a first gear functionality?
No.
Ramji's object does not have a first gear functionality. This particular object, this particular human being object does not have a functionality called first gear functionality. That first gear functionality is present in the vehicle class. Did I write the vehicle class yesterday?
Yeah.
Human being class, employee class, student class, vehicle class. Yeah. So there's a vehicle class in which you have a first gear functionality, you have a second gear functionality, you have a third gear functionality. So if you have a object of this class, you can call these functionalities on that object. Because vehicle object has all these functionalities, not the human being object. Human being object has the functionality called see, listen, and all those things. So on Ramji's object, you cannot call this functionality. This is not allowed, correct?
Yes.
Because that object does not have that functionality. Okay. So I have to create the object of vehicle class. Okay, so this is the first vehicle object, this is the second vehicle object, this is the third vehicle object. So on the on the second vehicle object, v2 is nothing but the second vehicle object. I'm giving a name to identify each object. So on the second vehicle object, I'm calling this functionality. Now that functionality will be executed, right? Whenever you call the functionality, the logic inside that function will be executed. Any questions?
No.
So this is what we discussed in yesterday's class. Just to recap. Now let's try to learn about the new things in this class. First of all, this is just an introduction class yesterday. We'll talk about it again anyways. We'll talk about it again while writing the programs. First of all, to write any Java programs, you need a Java software to be installed in your laptops, correct? You have to install the Java software. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Java is a software which is developed by Sun Microsystems company. There's a company called Sun Microsystems. This particular company developed this particular software called Java. Correct? Are you people listening?
Yeah.
So Sun Microsystems company developed the Java software. So later, maybe I think around 2007 or 6, I believe, in 2006 or 2007, the Sun Microsystems company is acquired by Oracle company. So the Oracle company acquired this company. So now Java is a software. Java is a product of Oracle. It is no more a product of Sun Microsystems because Oracle company acquired this company. Java is a product of Oracle. It's not a product of Sun Microsystems anymore because Sun Microsystems company is bought by Oracle. Okay. So now if you want to download the Java software, definitely you have to go to the Oracle website. You have to go to the Oracle website and download the Java software because the Java software is a product of Oracle company that is available only in the Oracle website. You cannot download from anywhere else. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to download the Java software, you have to go to the Oracle website and download the Java software. I'll tell you how to download and all those things. Don't worry. So next thing, each and every product, it might be Java product, it might be a Java software, or it might be a .NET software, or it might be any other software. Maybe for example, any product. For example, if you look at the iPhone, so iPhone is a product of Apple company, right? So each and every product will have a version. So right now, what is the version of iPhone? You have iPhone 11 in the market, correct?
Yeah.
So earlier you have iPhone 10. Earlier you have iPhone 8 and iPhone 7 and iPhone 6 and all these versions are there in the market earlier, correct?
Yes.
So each and every product has versions. I want everyone to respond. If you're silent, I can't continue this class
Yes, Ram.
because I
Yep.
don't know who is listening and who is not listening. This is not a classroom training, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what you people are doing by keeping it in mute. I don't know that. So I want everyone to respond so that I know that you people are listening.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's very important.
Okay.
I can't expect people to remain silent in the class. Okay. So every product will have a version. What is the concept of version? Why there are so many versions in the market? So why there is iPhone 6? Why there is iPhone 7? Why there is iPhone 10? Why there is iPhone 11? Why there are so many versions? What is the funda behind that?
Update.
Because different times, different modules, identification, like when which was released, maybe.
So in iPhone 6, maybe you have, let us assume that you have 100 features. 100 features. Maybe like you can make a call, you can send a text message, you can make a call, that is the first feature. You can receive the call, that is the second feature. You can send a text message, that is the third feature. You can install the apps, that is the fourth feature, right?
Yes.
Yes.
There are so many features, agreed?
Yeah.
There are so many features in the iPhone 6. Let us assume that there are 100 features. Let us assume that there are 100 features. So in the iPhone 7, definitely they'll give more features, correct? So they might give 120 features, agreed?
Yep.
Because this is the latest
Yes.
version, agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the iPhone 8, they might give maybe 130 features.
Yes.
In the iPhone 10, there might be 150 features. So with every version, the number of features will increase, agreed or not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So in the iPhone 11, obviously there's more features. Okay. So what I mean to say here is, in iPhone 11, there's, let us assume that there are 300 features. So why they did not give all these 300 features in the iPhone 6 itself? Why they gave only 100 features in iPhone 6?
Bugs clearance.
Why they are taking why they are giving more features in iPhone 11, and while they introduced iPhone 6 into the market, why they did not give all the 300 features?
I mean, it is less technology at that time, and also
Not
software.
about only technology. It's not about only technology. For example, assume that there are two competitors. See, this is very important. You have to understand the concept of version, okay? So everyone pay attention here. So suppose there are two competitors, Apple and Samsung. There are two competitors, okay? So both of these, both these companies entered into the market at the same time. Let us assume that they started the companies at the same time. Let us assume that they started the companies at the same time. Now
Okay.
Samsung started its development and Apple also started its development. Still, it is not released into the market. Let us assume that still it is not released into the market. No phones of Apple and no phones of Samsung are in the market. They are still there. It is in the manufacturing phase. They are still developing the features. The developers of the Apple company are developing the features. The developers of the Samsung company are developing the features in the phone. Okay.
Yep.
So the Apple company listed, first of all, to develop the features, they have to list down the features. They have to come up with a plan. Okay, these are the features we have to develop. They have to come up with a plan, correct?
Yes.
So let us assume that the Apple company listed down 300 features, and Samsung also listed 300. Let us assume that Samsung also listed 300 features. No, they listed on all the features. The Apple company listed on all the features, and Samsung listed on all the features. Now it is given to the developers to develop it. So the developers started developing the features. Developers started developing the features. Correct? So
Yeah.
definitely takes some time. You cannot develop it in 1 minute or 2 minutes, right? It takes
Yeah.
some time for writing the code for writing the program, for developing the features, and the testers has to test the features, and everything has to be thoroughly tested, and finally it is released into the market. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It will take some time. It is not just like that. You cannot complete just like that in 1 minute or 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let us assume that for developing these 300 features, that the developers of the Apple company, maybe they took for development, for testing, for everything. So suppose assume that they took 5 years or 3 years, 3 years to develop all the features. So what Samsung company did is they don't want to develop all the 300 features. They just want to. They listed down 300 features, but they've listed down the topmost features, the topmost 50 features. Maybe for example, what is the basic need of a phone? You have to receive a call, you have to make an outgoing call, you have to send a text message. These are the basic features, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what Samsung company did is they developed all the basic features, all the 50 basic features they developed, and they within 3 months, within 4 months, they released the Samsung version 1 in the market. Okay.
Okay.
So, but Apple company has to wait for 3 years because they came up with a wrong plan. They want to develop all the 300 features, then release into the market. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they are wasting 3 years of their time. Correct?
Yeah.
So, but what Samsung did is they just developed 50 features in 4 months, and they released the Samsung version 1 in the market. So people started buying the Samsung phones because it is available in the market. Apple phones are not available in the market yet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct? So now it means the Samsung company acquired the market. They acquired the market. By the time the Apple came into market, Samsung completely acquired the market. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when people get used to the Samsung phones, it is very difficult to switch to Apple, right? They just don't switch to Apple just like that. Correct?
Yeah.
Because they're used to it. They're used to it. They just don't want to switch to the other company just like that. They don't want to spend so much of money just like that. Correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it means this is a strategy. They don't want to wait till 3 years. They don't want to waste a lot of time. They want to generate the revenue because Apple company has to wait for 3 years to generate the revenue, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
investing a lot of money. They're investing a lot because they have to pay the salaries to the developers. They have to pay the salaries to the testers. They have to pay for the infrastructure, the building rent, laptops, and everything. There's a lot of cost involved, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They have to pay for the data centers, so they have to pay so much of money. They're investing huge amount of money for 3 years without a zero income.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what Samsung company did is within 4 months they started getting the money back.
Yeah.
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 Correct. Now after the 4 months, what they will do? The developers will not sit idle, right? They already released the version 1. Now from the 5th month, they will work on the next set of features.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will not make the developers sit idle, right? They will definitely give work to the developers. They will definitely give work to the testers, right?
Yeah.
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 So they have to work on the next set of features, and after three more months, they'll release Samsung 2 version 2. Again, people will, if people like the features of Samsung 2, they will again buy the Samsung 2,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the version 2 mobiles. So again, they're getting the money. So they are getting the money continuously. So this is the
Yes.
concept behind the versioning, see, this is a competitive world. If you want to survive in the competition, you have to come first. Correct? You
Right.
cannot waste
Yeah.
your time. Like Apple just cannot waste its time for 3 years. It has to come into the market. Otherwise, its competitors will acquire the market.
Okay.
Agreed?
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a competitive world. So if you are late, your competitors will acquire the market. Obviously, that's the reason. So what every company will do is it will just release the basic features as a version one. Then it will enhance in the version two. It will give more features. It will give more features in the version three. It will give more features in the version four. So it's a continuous improvement.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, this is the concept of versioning. Similarly, the Java software also has versions. So there are so many features in Java. There are so many things that you can do with Java. There are so many things you can do with Java. But
Okay.
it is not possible for the Java developers, the developers of the Sun Microsystems company or the Oracle company. Right now, it's the Oracle company, right? So
Mm.
the
Yes.
the developers of Oracle company cannot develop all the features of Java in a overnight, right?
Yeah.
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 So they released various versions of Java. So there's a version 1, version 2, version 5, there are so many versions. So version 6, version 7, version 8, version 9, version 10, version 11. Right now, the latest version of Java is version 12, I guess.
13.
Okay, yeah, every day we have to, I mean, they will release every 2-3 months, they will release one version. So we have to, I didn't exactly know what is the current version right now, but there are a lot of versions. Okay.
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 So with each and every version, there are a lot of features. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Mm.
and one more thing, what you have to understand here is, for example, in the Samsung version 1, so let us assume that there are 50 features. There are 50 features. In Samsung version 2, there are 100 features. Means, what does it mean by 100 features? So, 50 features of version 1 plus extra 50 features, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So all the
Yeah.
features that are present in version 1 will still work with version 2. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yes.
And all the features of version 2 will still work with version 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, there are some scenarios where they remove some features also. That's a secondary story, but I'm not talking about it. But most of the features which are present in version 1 will be present in the version 2. Correct?
Yes.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
all the features of version 2 will present in version 3, and all the features of version 3 are present in version 4, and so on. Correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it means if you know Java 6 or if you know Java 7, if you know Java 7, so all the features of Java 7, all the features of Java 7 are present in Java 13.
Yes.
Agreed?
Yeah.
So because the Java 13 has all the features of Java 7 plus Java 8 plus Java 9 plus Java 10 plus Java 11 plus Java 12 plus some extra features. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 13. Agreed?
Agreed.
So if you learn Java 7, if you learn Java 7, so still you can work with Java 13 because you can install Java 13 in your laptops. You can install Java version 13 in your laptops. Still you can use the version 7 features. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Still you can use the, see, suppose if you buy a iPhone 11, still you can make a call. You can receive a call. You can send a text message. All these features
Yeah.
are present in iPhone 11 also. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how to make a call, if you know how to send a text message, if you know how to receive a call, if you know all these things in version 5 or version 6, the same functionalities will work in version 11 also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Similarly, if you know how to write a program, how to write Java, how to use the features of Java 7, if you know how to use the features of Java 7, you can use those features in Java 13 also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
See,
Yes.
as part of this course, I cannot tell you all the 1,000 or 2,000 features available in Java. Obviously, it's not practically possible. I cannot make you understand all the things in 1 or 2 months, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have to talk about the basics. I mean the basics mean the basic features. Okay, all the
Mm.
required things. And so I cannot I don't want to tell all the fancy features of Java 13, all the fancy features of Java 8, all the fancy features of Java 9. I don't want to talk about all those things because first of all you have to learn the basic features, then you can go for the fancy features, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we will discuss about Java 7 as part of this course.
Okay.
Okay.
If you know all the basic features, then it is your responsibility to learn the fancy features by yourself. If you
Okay.
have a good basic understanding, I will give the foundation very strong. I'll give you a very strong foundation.
Okay.
With that knowledge, you have to learn by yourself all the other things.
Okay.
Because we have a very limited time. I cannot tell you everything that I know in 1 or 2 months. That is for sure. Because I'm not only talking about core Java. I have to talk about the advanced Java concepts also, right?
Yes.
So it is not possible for me to cover each and everything. That is for sure. That's the reason what I decided to use Java 7 features to talk about the Java 7 features as part of this course. Because
Okay.
there are a
Okay.
lot of fancy features starting from Java 8. Starting from Java 8, there are a lot of fancy features. So if you have to understand those fancy features, first you have to understand the basic features.
Okay.
Getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it okay to everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
So we have to install Java 7 software in our laptops. That is the next task that is there for us. We have to install the Java version 7. So we have to work we have to learn about Java 7. Okay. So if you want to install the Java software, I told that you have to go to the Oracle website. So
Yeah.
you have to install the JDK. JDK means the Java Development Kit. You should have this kit in your laptops, the Java Development Kit. If you want to develop some Java programs, you need this particular kit, the Java Development Kit.
Okay.
So you have to install JDK in your laptops. You have to install this kit in your laptop. If you install this kit in your laptop, so then you can use that kit and develop the Java programs.
Is it
Okay.
possible install the MacBook too?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you please come again?
Is it you can the the Java program also provide like a Mac program too?
Okay, so I'll talk about it. So how many of you have Mac laptops?
I use Mac.
A Mac too.
Okay, few members. I mean, who else?
Yes.
No, I'm not using Mac.
No, we are using
Members are using Mac.
Windows.
Yeah.
I'm using Windows.
Okay, so let me tell you clearly. So as
Oracle.
part of this course, I will definitely recommend Windows. See, Mac also you can do whatever I'm teaching in the class. You can practice the same things in Mac also. Okay, so the same obviously it will work in Mac also. But I
Okay.
recommend you to use Windows. If you don't have Windows, I recommend you to borrow the laptop from your friends for the next 1 or 2 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Because when I talk about the database and all those things, the Oracle database and all those things, it is not straightforward in Mac to install the softwares. In Mac, you should have a VM, right? So the virtual box where you can install the softwares.
No, it doesn't matter because every software has a Linux version. So we can directly install the Linux version
Boss, I know
into
that.
our Mac.
I know that you have a Linux version, but the Oracle database is not directly installed in Mac. You know that?
Because I have already installed it in my system.
Database directly in the Mac. You know that?
I have already installed Oracle database on
How did you install?
my.
You have a virtual box, right?
No, I don't have a virtual box.
Okay. Can you share your screen?
1 second, I am using my another system now.
So actually, Oracle database, as per my knowledge, Oracle database has to be installed in the Mac in a VM, not directly, because MySQL can be installed, not the Oracle.
Okay.
So there are some limitations to Mac for Oracle database. So that's the reason there are some limitations not only to Oracle. There are so many limitations for other softwares also in Mac. It's not straightforward installation. We should have we should follow a separate route for that. So I cannot explain those different routes in the class. For Windows one way, Mac one way, because I'm using a Windows laptop. So that's the reason I recommend you people to use Windows. In case if it is not possible, you can use Mac. I'm not telling that it is not possible in Mac, but I have to explain it in a different route.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously, if it is not possible in Mac, no one will buy the Mac laptops. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything is possible in Mac. I know that everything is possible in Mac, but it is not. It is different from Windows. That's what I'm telling. You have to follow a different route. You should have a VM installed in your laptop, and you have to install the softwares in the virtual box.
Okay.
So it's not straightforward. So I cannot explain the virtual box things because I don't have a Mac laptop. I cannot explain those things. That's the reason I'm recommending you to use the Windows laptop. If it is not possible, yes, go for a Mac laptop. I mean, definitely, if you don't have an option, go for a Mac laptop and try to practice in Mac laptop itself.
Okay.
But the only thing is, I am explaining it in Windows. I have only Windows laptop with me. I'm explaining only in Windows as part of this course.
Okay.
Is it fine?
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. So next thing. So we have to install the JDK version 7 in our laptops. So to install JDK 7, so you have to go to the Google and JDK 7 downloads. JDK 7 download. So here you see the Oracle website www.oracle.com, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So go to that website, Java Archive downloads. Go to that website. So here, 1 second. Let me minimize this. Okay. So now you have to accept the license agreement. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So for the Windows people, you go and install the Windows 64-bit, because I believe everyone's laptop is a 64-bit laptop.
Yes.
Because all the modern laptops are 64-bit laptop. The old, maybe the 10 years ago, the laptops are 32-bit. The 10-15 years ago, the laptops are 32-bit. But now all the modern laptops are 64-bit. If you want to know what what is your laptop, go to your computer,
My PC.
PC, right click. Okay, this 1 second. Go to this PC, right click on the this PC, properties, click on the properties of my computer. What happened to my laptop? Hold on. Why is not coming the properties? Hold on.
Okay.
Properties. Yeah, I got it. Okay, I have to maximize it. Yeah, the properties. So now you can see it is a 64-bit operating system, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to know what is your operating system, you can go and check the properties of my computer. Okay.
Okay.
So obviously, I'm damn sure everyone's laptop is a 64-bit, because the old laptops are 32-bit. So what I wanted you to install is, so just accept the license agreement and go to the Windows 64-bit. So just download this .exe file.
Okay.
Okay, if you are using a Mac, so there's a Mac version also, Mac 64-bit. you go and install the Mac version of the JDK.
Okay.
Okay, if you're using a Mac, you have to download this particular version of Java. So for every operating system, they have given a different distribution. So this is a distribution for Windows, this is a distribution for Mac, and this is a distribution for Solaris. So for for Linux, for every operating system, they give a distribution. This is called distribution. The .exe file, whatever it is. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're downloading Windows 64 version, so if your laptop is a 32-bit operating system, if your laptop has a 32-bit operating system, then you have to download this 86. 86 is nothing but 32-bit operating system.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but I'm damn sure everyone's laptop is a 64-bit. So you have to go and download the 64-bit operating system's version. Okay.
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 So you have to click on this download, click on this, then when you click on this link, the download will automatically begin. Okay, so tell me, how many of you don't have a Java software installed in your laptops?
Mine.
What is your name?
Shanti.
Sorry?
Shanti.
Shanti. So Shanti, I make you as a presenter. Can you share your screen and start the installation? Because I don't want to, I already have the Java. I don't want to show you the installation in my laptop.
No, I cannot do in this. I'm seeing in my iPad.
Okay, so from tomorrow, I want everyone to join with the laptops, please, because
Okay.
I will definitely ask you people to share your screens.
Yeah,
I'll ask
I'm
you
installing right now, sir.
Oh, hold on. Don't start the installation process.
Yeah,
I want
okay.
to show to everyone. Who is installing right now?
Yeah, I'm installing right now. I just downloaded the SDK 7. I logged on to the Oracle and just downloaded it. And
Once again, what's your name?
Sriharsha.
Harsha. 1 second. Harsha. Yeah, I'll make you as a presenter. Hold on.
So,
Oh, do I have to right now? Download.
Hold on. If I make you as a presenter, can you please share your screen?
yes, sir.
So, can you go back again? Can you go to the website again? Can you download it again?
Yeah, let me delete it and I'll download it again.
Yeah. So, do it slowly because I want to explain. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. Give me
Don't
just.
just click next. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so accept and this one right here, right, sir?
Yeah, accept license agreement and
Yep.
click on 64. And don't call me sir, man.
Yeah, yes, Ramji.
Yeah, click OK. So he's downloading that right now. He's downloading the .exe file. Okay, is everyone seeing his screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just after the download is complete, just click on the .exe file. Done. Then you click on the .exe file. Hold on. What is that? I mean, it's not, the font is very low. The font size is very less. Can you read it out for us?
Yes, sir. Give me just a moment. It says some error. Yeah, there you go, sir.
Yeah, so click next. Here, 1 second. Here, it is asking you where do you want to install the Java, correct? So it is asking you the path. Can you check? See if you see here, install to there's a below there's a install to C drive program files. Can you highlight that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This one
So
right here.
I don't want to install my Java software in C drive program files because
Yeah.
what I do in my laptop is I'll create a folder called softwares and I will install all the softwares in that folder. So it is easy for me to organize. So I recommend everyone to create a folder called softwares in the C drive and install the softwares in that folder.
So,
Okay. So can you click on change?
change. Yes,
So
sir.
just type C drive slash softwares, C drive slash softwares, C drive slash softwares slash Java.
Java.
Okay.
Yeah.
Click OK. So now you are installing in C drive softwares Java folder, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, Ramji.
So click next. Hyun, can you please mute your microphone because your keyboard is making a lot of sound.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just tried to download from the my other desktop. So
Yeah, no, I want everyone to focus on the class first. You can download it in offline.
okay.
Okay, now you can click next. So click close. Okay, so that's all.
Yeah.
So your Java software is installed. Can you please go to the C drive softwares folder? Because that is where you install, right? So C drive softwares Java. Okay, so when you install Java software, definitely you see all these folders. All these folders came along with the installation. When you install the software, all these folders are created. The bin folder, the lib folder, the JRE folder, all these folders are created by default when you install the software, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now let me make myself as presenter. Okay, you are able to see my screen?
Yeah.
So look at my laptop where I installed C drive softwares. So I installed Java here. I mean JDK, maybe you can give any folder name, right? So I gave JDK 1.7. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
inside this folder, I installed the Java software, correct? So
Yeah,
I also,
Ramji.
I mean, you can see all the folders in my laptop also, correct?
Yeah, I can't see your
Yeah.
screen. It's all blacked out.
Is it? What
Yeah.
about others?
We can see. I mean, I can see that.
We can.
Okay,
I
one
can
second.
see.
Then what I'll do is I will stop sharing actually. So now I'll share the screen again. Now can you see, Harsha?
Yeah, now I can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you can see all the folders here, right? In my laptop also, C drive, softwares, JDK. You can see all these folders, agreed?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I already installed Java software in my laptop. So the most important folder is the bin folder. All the binaries will be there in this folder. Okay. So if you open the bin folder, you can see so many things inside the bin folder, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, but don't worry about all these things. So the most important thing that you want here is, so you want Java C. So Java C.exe. This is the one you want. Okay. And
Okay.
Yeah.
there is one more thing is Java.exe. So Java C.exe and Java.exe are the one you have to know about. So when you
Okay.
install the Java software in your laptops, you see a bin folder. So inside the bin folder, you can see Java C.exe and Java.exe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's try to understand what is the meaning of these two things. Not immediately. It takes some time. So just hold on before that. So you just remember these are the two. You just remember these two names. I'll talk about it in some time again.
Okay.
So once the installation is completed, now you can start writing the programs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me create a folder called new folder. I'm creating a folder on desktop. This is November, right? So November batch, right? November.
Yes,
Inside this
Manoj.
folder, I'll create new folder Java. Okay. So I'm closing this. I'll tell you why. One second. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll just go. I'll open a notepad and I'll write my first program in Java. Okay.
Okay.
Class, because in Java, whatever you write in Java, you have to write inside a class. Correct?
Right.
So I'm creating a class A. You can give any name for the class. Correct?
Yep.
So this is the class that I'm creating. This is the class I'm creating. I created a class A. Now inside class A, what I'll do is I will write two functions. I'll write two functions because class can contain variables and functions, nothing else. Correct?
Yes.
I told that whatever you write in Java, you have to write inside a class. The second thing that I told is that you can write only variables and functions inside a class, nothing else.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let me write my first function. In Java, in C language, you call it as a function. In Java, you call it as a method. The terminology is method. So going forward, I will call it as a method. I don't call it as a function.
Okay.
So I'm telling the statement again. Whatever you write in Java, you have to write it inside a class. The second statement is you can write only variables and methods inside a class. Methods is nothing but functions. In
Functions.
Java, we call it as a method. In C language, we call it as a function, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you can write only variables and methods inside a class, nothing else.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you write a method? Suppose I'm writing a method called M1. I'm writing a method called M1. This is one method, correct?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
So in Java, each and every method should have a return type. Listen carefully. Every method should have a return type. The return type is mandatory in Java. What is meant by return type? Let us try to understand what is meant by return type. For example, if you have a method called add method, which accepts two integers, this is a add method. What is the logic inside this add method? You are adding the sum of two numbers and returning the value, correct?
Okay.
You are returning a plus b, correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
So you are returning a is an integer, b is an integer, a plus b. So you're adding two integers. You'll get the result as an integer, right?
Mm-hmm.
A plus b is also an integer, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the data type? What is the data type of the return value? It is an integer because you're returning an integer. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to specify the return type here. It is an integer. It returns a integer. You have to specify the data type while you're writing the method. When you're writing the method in Java, the return type is mandatory.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to specify int here because you have to specify this is the type of the data that is written from this method. The return type, the data type of the return value.
Okay.
You have to specify that. For example, if you are returning a string, you have to specify you are returning a string. Suppose if you're returning a boolean, you have to specify you're returning a boolean. So don't worry about what is boolean, string and all those things. I'll talk about each and everything in detail. Don't worry.
Okay.
So the return type is mandatory in Java. Any
Okay.
questions till now?
Yeah.
Everyone
Yes.
Yep.
got it right? So suppose if I'm not returning any value, for example, if I'm not returning any value, if you're returning some value, then you have to specify the return type, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What type of the data you're returning. But I'm not returning any value. Even then, the return type is mandatory. In Java, the return type is mandatory while writing the methods. What value is written by this method? When you call this method, what it is returning. So, but you're not returning anything. Then how can you specify the return type, correct?
Void.
So it has to be void. So when the method is not returning any value, when the method is not returning any value, so but still you have to specify the return type. So you have to specify it as void. Void means it is not returning any value. That is the meaning. Void
Okay.
means it is not returning any value. That is the meaning of it.
Okay.
So in Java, the return type is mandatory. So if you are not returning any value, specify it as void. That is mandatory.
Okay.
Okay. So right now I have written a method called M1. The name of the method is M1. The name of the method is M1. So this method M1 is not returning any value. So I'll declare it as void M1.
Okay.
So this is how you write a method. So this is the return type. Void means it is not returning any value, and this is the method name, correct?
Yep.
And you have to write the logic inside the method. Whatever the logic you want to write it inside the method, correct?
Okay.
Okay, one more thing. For example, if you have a add method again, it is returning an integer value. It is accepting two parameters a and b. So this particular method, this particular add method is accepting two parameters. These are called parameters.
Okay.
So you have to supply the input. You have to supply the input to this particular method. When you're calling the method, suppose when you call the method add of 10, 8, you're supplying two parameters, two values as an input, right? You're supplying the value 10 to this parameter, you're supplying value 8 to this parameter, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So these are called parameters. So you're supplying the input parameters. You're supplying the input parameters. So this method is giving the value. When you supply the input, it is giving the output, correct?
Mhm.
When you supply 10 and 8, so this method will return 10 plus 8, 18. It will return 18, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is called parameterized method because you're supplying the parameters. It's a parameterized method. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a 0 parameter method. This is a 2 parameter method. Getting it?
Yep.
Yes.
Because this method is not accepting any parameters. You did not write any parameters here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 0 parameter method. This is a 2 parameter method. You can have a 1 parameter method. You can have a 3 parameter method. You can have any number of parameters.
Okay.
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 So one more thing is, this is instead of calling it as a parameter, so there are two parameters here. The first parameter is a, the second parameter is b. So the type of the parameter is integer. This is the parameter type is integer. The parameter b type is integer, right?
Yep.
So instead of calling it as a parameter, you can call it as a argument. You can call it as a argument. Anything is same, parameter or argument. So it is a two argument method. It is a 2 argument method. This is a 0 argument method, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This terminology is very important. That's the reason I'm covering it in the initial classes. So going forward, whenever I say a 3 argument method, 2 argument method, you should not get confused. You should know what is your argument. So in the
Okay.
initial classes, I want to make sure that everyone understands the terminology.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a 2 argument method. This is a 0 argument
0,
method.
2.
You can have a 1 argument method, you can have a 3 argument method, you can have any number of arguments, correct? Any number of parameters or arguments, whatever you call it as.
Okay.
Okay, and one more thing. So next point is, so this is how you write a method, right? This is the method you wrote, this is the first method you have written, and this is the second method you have written.
Okay.
So you can write any number of methods in a class. You can give any number of functionalities, right? So that particular class can have any number of functionalities. For example, human beings class has a see functionality, listen functionality, breathe functionality, move functionality, talk functionality. There are so many functionalities for a human being object, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can write any number of methods inside a class. There is no limit.
Okay.
Okay, next point. So next point is, so when you write a method like this is the first method, this is the second method. So every method will have 2 parts. Every method will have 2 parts. The first part is method declaration. So this is called method declaration. So the method declaration means the name of the method, what type of data that method is returning back. So right now this method is not returning any value, correct? It's a void. It's a void method, correct?
Yeah.
So this is called the method declaration. And whatever is there inside the flower brackets, the logic that you're writing inside the flower brackets, that is
Mm-hmm.
method definition. That is how you're defining the method. So what are the logic you're writing inside the flower brackets, that is a method definition. And this is called method signature, or sorry, method declaration or method signature. You can call it any name. Method declaration or method signature. So this is called method signature or method declaration. This is how you declare the method. You declare the method with this name. The name of the method is M1. It is a 0 argument method. The return type is void. So that is how you declare the method. You declared this is my method. My method name is M1. It does not return any value. Void means it does not return any value. It's a 0 argument method. So that is how you declare the method. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is how you define the method. The definition that you give inside the method this is called method definition. The logic that you have written inside the flower brackets, that is the method definition. That is the definition of a method. So method declaration or method signature, you can call it as a method signature. This is the signature of a method, or you can call it as a method declaration. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, this particular the logic that is present inside the flower bracket is called as a method definition or method body. Anything is same. So this is the body of a method. That is the definition of a method. Anything is same.
Okay.
Getting
Okay.
it? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm trying to explain about how to write a method and what are the things sorry, what are the things that present inside a method.
Okay.
So every method consists of 2 things: method declaration or method signature, or method definition or method body. Similarly, this particular method also has a method signature. This is the method signature. So it is a 2 argument method. The name of the method is add method. So the return type is integer. So this entire thing is method signature, and this entire thing is method body or method definition.
Okay.
Every method has 2 parts. Any questions till now?
No.
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 So now I have written a class A and I have written two methods inside the class A. Otherwise, I'll remove one method. I'll write only one method for time being to make it simple. Okay. Hold on. Yeah. So let me remove this because whatever you write in Java, you have to write it inside a class. You cannot write outside the class like this. This is outside the class, right?
Yeah.
I'll remove that. So now I have a class A. I have a method M1 inside class A. Okay, let me write method M2. It is also a void method. And let me write a method M3. It is also a void method. Okay, I have written three methods inside the class A. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will write one more method called main method. The name of the method is main. The name of the method is main.
Mm.
Is it fine if I extend this class for another 30 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm writing one more method called main method. So in the main method, what I'll do is this is the name of the method and this is a zero argument method, right? And the return type is void. It is not returning any value. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can give any name for a method. You can give M1, M2, M3, whatever the name you want to give. You can give any name for a method. So right now I'm giving the name as a main. Okay. You can give any name. Any questions here?
No.
So I'll make this main method as a one argument method. I'll make this main method as a one. I want to declare this method as a one argument method. So I'll give the what argument. So if I give int a, the argument is an integer argument, right? If I give
Yeah.
string a, it is a string argument. The argument is this argument is of type string. Agreed. This is called data type. I hope everyone knows what is data type.
Yes.
Yes.
What type of data you can store in this variable A. In this variable A, what type of data you can store? That is called data type. So right now I'm declaring it as a string variable. It means I can store only string values in that variable A. See, when I say int A, I can store only integer value. Int A equal to 10. I cannot store a string value. I cannot store a string value, right?
Yep.
This is how you write a string in double quotes. String should be written in the double quotes.
Okay.
So you cannot store this value in the integer variable. You can store only integer values in the integer variable, right? Because you declared this variable as an integer. When you declare this variable as an integer, this is the data type of this variable. So you have to store only integer values in that variable. Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, when I declare this variable as a string variable, I can store only string values. I cannot store the integer value. This is wrong. I cannot store the integer value in the string variable.
Yes.
Okay. I want everyone to respond, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you declare this variable as a Boolean variable, so there are a lot of data types. There are a lot of data types. There's an integer data type, there's a string data type, there's a Boolean data type. There are so many other data types which I'm not talking now. Okay. So
Okay.
if this variable is declared as a Boolean variable, you have to store only Boolean values. What is Boolean values? Either true or false. That's all. True or false. Only two values are allowed for a Boolean.
Okay.
Only two values are allowed, either true or false. Only two values are allowed for a Boolean.
Okay.
You cannot store an integer in the Boolean variable. That is wrong. You cannot store like this. You cannot store a string value in the Boolean variable. This is wrong. You can store only Boolean value in the Boolean variable. either true or false. These are the Boolean values. Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, so I'll come back to this again anyways. Don't worry about that now. So now I declare I created a class called A. I created 4 methods inside this class: M1, M2, M3, and main method. So the M1 method does not return any value. It's a zero argument method. M2 method does not return any value. It's a zero argument method. M3 method does not return any value. It's a zero argument method. And main method does not return any value. It's a one argument method. Correct?
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
What type of argument it is? It is a string argument. Correct?
Yep.
So I'll declare it as a I don't want a string argument. I want another argument. This is called string array. Don't worry about what is an array right now. I'll talk about what is an array in the next class. Okay.
Okay.
So at this point of time, just try to understand that. So this is a variable A which is of type string array. It's not a string variable. It's not an integer variable. It's not a Boolean variable. It's a string array variable.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is a string array? I'll talk it in the next class.
Okay.
But at this point of time, just try to understand that this variable is of type string array.
Okay.
Okay. So I created a method called main method which does not return any value, and it is accepting one argument, and that argument is of type string array. Okay.
Okay.
And one more thing what I want to do here is I want to declare this method as a static method. So don't worry about what is a static method at this point of time. I will talk about what is a static method after 10 days, not now.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I cannot tell each and everything in the first class, correct?
Yeah.
So you have to wait. You have to wait to not 10 days, 10 classes. After, otherwise maybe after 6 classes probably. After 5 to 6 classes, I will talk about what is a static method. So
Okay.
at this point of time, don't worry about what is a static method. And now I want to declare this method as a public method. Don't worry about again what is a public method. I will talk about what is meant by public definitely after 20 classes, not now. Definitely after 20 classes, I will tell you what is a public method.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want to declare this method as a public method. I want to declare this method as a static method. So this is the method declaration I gave. So that's a public method, that's a static method. That method does not return any value, and it's a one argument method, and the argument is of type string array. So this is the method I have written. This is the method I have written in the class A. Any questions here?
No.
I know you don't know what is a public method. I know you don't know what is a static method. I know that you don't know what is a string array. I know that you don't know what is a string array. Except these 3 things, do you have any other questions?
No.
Nope.
No.
So the simple thing that you have to know here is I have written a class. Class name is A. I declared 4 methods: M1, M2, M3, and main method. Correct?
Yeah.
So now inside this main method, what I'll do is I will write a system dot out dot println hello, this is my first program. Okay, so whoever has some knowledge on C language, they might have known about what is a printf, what is a scanf, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, scanf, forget about scanf. You know what is a printf?
Yeah.
Yes.
To print statements or
You want
something.
to print some information, right?
On console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You use a printf in C language, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Java language, we use system.out.println. So this is the thing you have to use to print some information. So this is the information I'm printing now.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
even if you don't understand this, just try to understand at high level. For at least for this class, try to understand at high level. You will understand all these things in detail going forward.
Okay.
So if you want to print some information, you have to use system.out.println. Okay. So now that's all. My program is completed. Otherwise, I'll make it very simple. I will write only one method. I've written, I can write any number of methods. I can write any number of methods in the class. That's my wish, right? This is my program. It's my program. I can write any number of methods in my class, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I created a class A and I have written only one method in the class A. That's a main method. That main method is a public method and that main method is a static method. So that is how I declared. So if I don't declare it as a public, it's not a public method. That's my wish. Whether to declare it as a public method or not, that's my wish, right?
Yes.
So I'm
Yeah.
declaring it as a public method. I'm declaring it as a static method. And the method does not return any value. And this method is a one argument method. This is how I declared. It's my wish. I can declare like anything. I can declare it as a one argument method. I can declare it as a zero argument method. I can declare it as a two argument method, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I am declaring it as a one argument method. And what type of argument it is? It is a string array. That is how I have written my method. That's my wish. I can write the method in any way. Correct?
Yep.
So now inside this method, what is the logic I have written? I am printing some information, correct?
Yeah.
So that is the logic I have written inside the main method. So if this logic has to be executed, if you want to execute this logic, you have to call this function. If you call this method, then the logic inside the method will be executed. If you don't call the method, the logic will never be executed, right?
Yes.
Yes.
If you want that logic to be executed, you have to call the method. You have to call that functionality. You have to call that method. When you call the method, the logic inside the method will be executed.
Yeah.
Any questions clear?
No.
Okay. So now I have written my first program in Java. Now I want to save this program. I have written it in a notepad. I have to save it somewhere, right?
Yes.
So Control S, save it. Where I want to save it on the desktop. Just now I created a folder called November, right?
Yeah.
So I want to save it inside this folder. I think November spelling I gave wrong. That's fine. So in the Java in this folder I have a Java folder. I want to save inside the Java folder. Okay, you can save it anywhere. That's your wish. But I'm saving it. I'm saving it in this folder. Okay.
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 So what I'll do is I'll save it with a name. Not generally. So you have to save the program. Whatever the program you have written, you have to save the program with a name that is equal to the class name. The class name is class A, right? So I will save with a.java. A.java. So every file will have a extension. For example, if it is a Word document, you will have a .doc. If it is an Excel sheet, you will have .xls. If it is an image file, you will have .jpg. Correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Every file that you have in the file system in your laptop, every file that you have in the file system in the laptop, that has an extension, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So if it is a notepad, you will have a .txt. It's a text file .txt, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So similarly, the Java program that you have written, you have to save that file with an extension called .java. It's a Java file, .java. So this is the name of the file. This is because you're storing this file, you're storing this program, right? You're saving this program. You're saving this program on your desktop, correct?
Yeah.
I'm saving it with this particular name, a.java. The name of the file is a and the extension is .java. Any questions?
No.
Any questions here? Please speak out.
No, sir.
Please speak
No,
out.
no.
No.
I want everyone to respond, please.
No, sir.
All clear.
So I have written a program and I saved the program with a name called a.java. So go back to the desktop, go to the November folder. You have a Java folder here. Inside that you have a.java, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now my program is ready. Now what I have to do? I have to run my program, correct?
Yes.
I have to run my program. So if I have to run my program, the first step that I have to do is I have to compile my program. I have to compile. I have to do the compilation. One second. Let me minimize this. So if I have to run the program, first of all, I have to compile the program. If the compilation is successful, then only you can run the program. If the compilation is successful, then only you can run the program. You can run the program only if it is successful, if the compilation is successful. So if there is a failure, if the compilation is failed, you cannot run the program. You cannot run the program if the compilation is failed.
Okay.
I will tell you what is meant by compilation. Don't worry, I'll talk about each and everything in detail. Just you have to hold on for some time, that's all. So you have to compile the program first, then you have to run the program. If the compilation is successful, then only you can run the program. If the compilation is failed, you cannot run the program. There is no way that you can run the program. The program is not compiled. Okay?
Okay.
So what is meant by compilation? So compilation means you have written some program, fine. But did you write the program correctly? Did you write the program correctly? Is the syntax is correct? Did you open the flower bracket here? Did you close the flower bracket here? Did you open the flower bracket here? Did you close the, because it's a method, right? So each and every method should have a flower bracket, and it should have a flower bracket. You have to close the flower bracket, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
have to open the flower bracket for the class, and you have to close the flower bracket for the class, correct?
Yes.
For example, this is a method, this is the name of the method, this is a void method. Suppose if you gave the spelling wrong, if you gave VOAD by mistake, because we are after all human beings, we make mistakes, right? So there might be a spelling mistake, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you write the program like this, if you don't give the syntax correctly, you cannot run the program, obviously, correct?
Yeah.
So the compilation is the process where it will check the syntax. It will check the syntax of a program. During the
Okay.
compilation process, the syntax of the program will be checked. If the syntax is correct, then the compilation is successful. Then only you can run the program.
Okay.
Getting it, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So compilation is a
Yeah.
process of checking the syntax. For example, if you give a wrong spelling here, the compilation will be failed.
Okay.
You cannot run the program, obviously, if the compilation is failed. And if you forget to give the flower bracket here, the syntax is not correct. Every method should have a opening flower bracket and closing flower bracket, right?
Yes.
Forget to give the flower bracket here, the compilation is failed. You cannot, if the compilation is failed, you cannot run the program. The compilation has to be successful to run the program. So compilation is a process where the syntax of the program will be checked. Any questions
Okay.
here?
No.
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 Mm.
And each and every line in the Java program has to be terminated with a semicolon. You have to write a semicolon at the end of the line. Not for the method declaration. You should not put semicolon here. This is a syntax. This is a wrong syntax. You have to put the semicolons for the rest of the lines, not for the method signatures. You should not keep semicolon here. You should not keep here. Okay. You have to open the flower bracket here. You have to open the flower bracket. You have to close the flower bracket here. And whatever the logic you are writing inside the method, each and every line has to be terminated with a semicolon. That is a syntax. That is a syntax. Getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose I am speaking with you. So I'm speaking in English language, right?
Yeah.
If I don't follow the grammar, if I don't follow the syntax of the English language, if I speak in a different, if I speak in whatever the way I want, will you understand that?
No.
Mhm.
If I don't follow the grammar, because every language has a grammar, right?
Yeah.
Every language has a grammar, whether it's English language or Hindi language or Telugu language, whatever might be the language, every language has a grammar. I have to follow the grammar and I have to speak it accordingly, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
If I don't follow the grammar, you don't understand what I'm speaking, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So similarly, the Java language also has a grammar. Every language, not only Java, even if it is a .NET or even if it is a Python scripting or even if it is any other scripting language, whatever might be the language, every language has a syntax. Every language has a grammar, correct?
Yes.
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 So you have to follow the grammar. So you have to put the semicolon at the end of each line. That has to be terminated with a semicolon. Every line has to be terminated with a semicolon.
Okay.
So this is the syntax. If you forget to give the semicolon here, the compilation will be failed. Because compilation is the process where it will check the syntax of a program. Any questions?
No.
No.
So now I have written my program. The next step what I have to do is I have to compile the program, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
If I compile the program successfully, then I can run the program. Correct? These are the things I have to do. The first thing I did in this class is I installed the Java software. That is the first thing I did in this class, correct?
Yeah.
After installing the Java software, I have written a Java program, my first Java program, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saved the program
Yes.
with a a.java file name. Correct? The name of this program is a.java. The file name where this program is present is a.java. Correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next step I have to do is I have to compile my program. So after compilation, the next step I have to do is I have to run the program.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So now how to compile this program? So let us try to understand that now. So let me open a command prompt. I hope everyone knows what is a command prompt.
Yeah.
So Ranas, so this is the minimum things I expect from the students. If you people don't know what is a command prompt, I can't help you seriously. So this is the command prompt, correct?
Yes.
So I hope everyone knows what is CD, change directory and all those things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Please
Yeah.
speak out. Whoever don't know, please speak out. Otherwise you don't understand. Whoever don't know what is CD, please let me know. So everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't know, there is nothing wrong. You can talk about that you don't know. So I'm
Okay.
telling you again, whoever doesn't understand, Whoever has any doubt, whoever has any concern, please speak out. There is nothing wrong to speak out. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So right now my current working directory is C drive Windows System 32 is my present working directory, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to change the directory. So cd dot dot means I will navigate back to I'll navigate back one step, right?
Yes.
I hope you know these things are not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So cd dot dot. So now I am in the C directory. My current working directory is the C directory, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now what I'll do is I'll do cd users cd. So I navigated to my desktop, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now on my desktop I have a folder called November, correct?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
inside the November folder I have a Java folder, correct?
Mhm.
So inside this folder I have a.java file, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now I want to compile that a.java file, correct?
Yeah.
To compile a.java file, when you install Java software in your laptop, you have a inside the bin folder, you have a Java C. Java C is a Java compiler.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you install Java software, you got the Java compiler along with the installation.
Yes.
Now you can use this Java compiler to compile the Java program.
Okay.
That's why I told you to remember the Java C and Java. These are the two things you have to remember, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Java C is nothing but it's a Java compiler. So I'll compile the program now. Java C space a.java, because this is the file I want to compile, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you look
Yes.
here in the November folder, you have a Java. In the November you have a Java. You have a.java, correct?
Mhm.
So right now I'm in November Java folder. I'll compile it using the Java C command. So program is compiled successfully. There are no errors. Okay.
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 So then go and check the directory again. Go and check the Java directory. Now you see a file called a.class file. When the
Yeah.
compilation is successful, it will generate a .class file. Getting
Okay.
it?
Okay.
When the compilation is successful, because you compile the program, the compilation is successful, so it generated a.class file in the same directory.
Okay.
Any questions here?
No.
No.
No questions.
So now when the compilation is successful, I'll get a .class file. Now I can run the .class file. So if you want to run the program, you have to you can run it. You can run only .class files. You cannot run .java files. Remember that. You can run only .class files. You cannot run .java files.
Okay.
That is the reason I'm compiling it first and getting the .class file. Then I will run the .class file.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why I told you that without compilation, you cannot run the program. You have to compile the program first and get the .class file, then run the .class file, because you can run only .class files. You cannot run .java files.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why compilation is mandatory for running a program. If you compile successfully, then only you'll get a .class file. Then only you can run the program.
Okay.
So how to run the program? So I told that to remember these two things, correct? One is Java C, the other one is Java.
Okay.
So Java C is for compiling the program, Java for running the program. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Java, yeah, that's all. When you say Java, yeah, what it will do is in this particular folder, in this particular current working directory, it will check if there is a .class file. If there is a .class file, if there is a .class file, it will run that a.class file.
Okay.
You should not write a.class. You just have to specify a. That's all. It will look for a.class automatically.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
No.
So now when I run the program, I got the output. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know that I told so many things in today's class, but these are the things we are going to learn every day. Every day we write some programs, we compile the program, we run the program. That is what we are going to do from today. Correct?
Okay.
In every class, I write a program, I will compile the program, I will run the program. That's all I have to do. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you should know how to write a program. In any Java program, whatever you write, you have to write it inside a class. And you can
Okay.
write only variables and methods inside a class. You cannot write whatever you want. Correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So right now I've written a class called class A, and inside the class A I have written a method called main method, which is a public method, which is a static method, which does not return any value, and which is a one argument method, and that argument is of type string array. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And inside the main method I've written a logic system.out.println. So hello, this is my first program. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is the program I have written. Now I compile the program. When I compile the program, I got the .class file. Now I'm running the .class file. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen carefully. Suppose if I go and delete this .class file, if I delete the .class file here, okay? Now there is no .class file here. Correct?
Yeah.
Now if I go and try to run Java space A, it will look for a.class file. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is no a.class file in that folder. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So when I run this program, I'll get could not find or load class A. Agree?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it is looking for a.class file. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So suppose if I have to run this program, I have to compile it again. Correct? Then I'll get the .class file again. So I got compilation is successful. Go and check in the folder. You'll get a .class file now.
Okay.
Now I can run the .class file. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed? So
Yes.
now, so guys, I'm taking more time. Is it fine? Because I don't want to stop it in between. I
Okay.
want to conclude this another 5-10 minutes
Okay.
Okay.
because I don't want to speak off topics. So, for example, if I don't give the semicolon here, I forgot to give the semicolon. Okay.
Okay.
So now, first of all, I'll try to run the program. Can I run the program first of all?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
The
Previously
class
it
file
has
is already present.
Because it is already compiled. Program is already compiled, and I have a .class file. Correct?
Yeah.
Right now I'm not compiling it. I'm running it. Correct?
yes.
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 See, I modified the program. What is the modification I did? I removed the semicolon here. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the modified program is not there in .class file. Correct?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
old program is there in .class file. Correct?
Yes.
The
Mhm.
modified program is there in .java. It is not there in .class because I did not compile it again. Did I compile it again?
No.
No.
So I'm just running the old .class file that is generated. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So it should run successfully, no matter what. Correct?
Yeah.
So, if I try to compile this program Java C space a.java, if I
Syntax error.
compile it, now there is a compilation error. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
It is clearly saying that semicolon is expected in line number 7 in a.java. So it is also telling where the semicolon is expected. So in this line, and see it is giving the comma here, right? It means it is expected here.
Yep.
It is clearly telling the error. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So line number 7. Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now if I run this program, will it run?
Yes.
Uh,
Huh?
No.
Why it will not run?
Compilation error.
See, there's a compilation error, fine. But the dot class file is already generated earlier with the previous compilation, right? That is not deleted, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
The dot class file is still, the dot class file is already there in the previous, with the previous compilation, correct?
yes.
So the previous code, the previous working code is already there in dot class file, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should run the program still, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I delete this dot class file, if there is no dot class file here, now you cannot run this program, agreed?
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now go and check in the folder. There is no the dot class file is not generated. If the compilation is successful, then only the dot class file will be generated. Otherwise, dot class file will not be generated. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have to correct the program. I have to correct the compilation error first. I have to correct the compilation error first. Now compile it again. Now you will see a dot class file. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
now you can run the program. Java space yeah. Any questions till now you understood what is meant by compilation and what is meant by running? I'll tell you. I will tell you what is happening here. Why you are getting this output? I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that in some time. So, but tell me, did you understand how to compile the program and how to run the program?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yes, Ramji.
I can hear only 3 voices. What about others?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now let me explain this program quickly and I'll wind up this class.
Okay.
So when you run the program, what is happening? See, compilation you understood. It is checking the syntax errors, correct?
Yeah.
If there is a syntax error, it is giving the compilation error. So you will go and correct the compilation errors and compile the program. The dot class file is generated successfully. So you understood till that point, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now when you're running the program, what is happening exactly? When you're running the program, what is happening exactly? When you're running the program, okay, so it will check for
Logic
the
error.
main method inside the class. It will check if there is a main method present in the class or not. It will not check any other method. It will check for only main method. Okay.
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 It will check if there is a main method in, because you're running the dot class file. So when you're running the dot class file, it will go and check inside the dot class file if there is a main method.
Okay.
If there is a main method inside the dot class file, it will call that method. It will call the method and the logic inside the main method will be executed.
Okay.
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 Who is calling the main method here? The JRE, the Java Runtime Environment is called JRE. Listen carefully. So when you run the program, the JRE will run it actually.
Okay.
So it means when you say Java command, Java space A, when you say Java space A, the JRE will run the program because the JRE is already installed in your laptop, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say the Java command internally uses JRE, the Java command internally uses JRE to run this dot class file, to run a dot class file, to run a dot class file. You're running it using the Java command. What this Java command will do is it will ask JRE, please run this dot class file. That is what Java command will do. the Java command will ask JRE to run the program. Okay.
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 So then what JRE will do is it will go and check the dot class file. It will go and check the a dot class because you're running a dot class file. It will go and check the a dot class file. If there is a main method inside the a dot class file, if it finds the main method, it will call the main method. It means who is here? It means JRE. Correct?
JRE.
So because you're running this dot class file using a Java command. So Java command will consult JRE. Hey JRE, please run this dot class file. Then JRE will go and check inside the dot class file. If there is a main method present in the dot class file, it will call the main method. All these things will happen automatically.
Okay.
Okay.
So the JRE will call the main method. So the logic inside the main method will be executed. When you call the method, the logic inside the method will be executed. So now the method is called by JRE, correct?
Yep.
Main why it is calling the main method? It is checking the main method only. That is how the JRE is programmed. JRE is also a software, right? That is not a magic, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The JRE is programmed in such a way that it will go and check for the main method inside the class and it will call the main method. That is how it is programmed.
Okay.
Okay.
So it will call the main method, and whatever the logic you write inside the main method, that logic will be executed. So what is the logic you write inside the main method? You write inside the main method. This is the logic you wrote. So system.out.println. It means you're asking to print, correct?
Yeah.
Because system.out.println is nothing but to print the information on the console. So you're printing it on the console, correct? It is printing the information. Agreed?
Yeah.
Any questions here?
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
So quickly, so suppose if I remove this public method here, yeah, so if I don't declare it as a public method, okay,
Okay.
now I modified the program, right?
Yes.
So I have to compile it again to have the latest code, correct?
Yes.
Now my dot class file has the latest code. So the old dot class file is replaced with the new dot class file now.
Yeah.
So now let me run the latest dot class file. The latest dot class file does not have a main method, right? Does not have a public method, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It has a main method, but it's not a public method, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you cannot run. See, it's saying that main method not found in class A. Of course, you have written a main method, but why it is saying not found in class A? Because it is looking for public method, not for a. It is looking for a main method. At the same time, it is looking for a public main method. It is
Okay.
looking for a public main method. It is not looking for a normal main method, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll declare it as a public method. Now, but I'll remove it as a static. I'm not declaring the main method as a static method. I'm declaring it
Okay.
as a public method, but I'm not declaring it as a static method. Okay.
Okay.
So I modified the program again. So I have to compile it again. So I got the latest dot class file. Let me run the program now. So again I got the error. So because it's saying that you're asking JRE to run the dot class file, it will go and check the dot class file. If there is a main method, it is looking for a main method which is a public method, which is a static method. It is not looking for a normal main method, correct?
Yeah.
That is how it is programmed. It is programmed to look for a public main method, to look for a static main method.
Okay.
So because it is not able to find main method is not static in the class A. Please define the main method as public static void main. Correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Public static point.
So
Okay.
declare this method as a static method. Declare this method as a static method. Don't worry about what is static and what is public. I'll talk about that in later classes. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
But at this point of time, try to understand that you have to declare the main method as a public method. You have to declare the main method as a static method. So in order to run the program, okay.
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 So now let me compile the program. Let me run the program. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So now, suppose if I declare this as a one argument, because I can write the program like any, that's my wish, right? It's my program. I can write it by my wish. I can declare it as a string argument instead of string array argument, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you compile this program, the program will compile successfully because there is no syntax error. Because I'm declaring it as a one argument method, and I'm giving the type of that argument as a string argument. That's my wish, right? I can give any type, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll give it as a string argument. The compilation will be successful no matter what because the syntax is correct. Agreed?
Yep.
Yes.
So let me compile the program. Compilation is successful. Let me run the program. Array, I'm sorry. I got an error because at the run I'm getting a runtime error. I'm not getting the compilation error. You have to understand this fact. There are two types of errors: compilation error and runtime error. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm getting a runtime error. What is the error I'm getting? Because the JRE is programmed in such a way to look for a main method, which is a public method, which is a static method, and which accepts string array as an argument.
Okay.
If you give string argument, it will not, because I gave string argument, I did not give string array, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So JRE is trying to look for a method which is having a string array. It is not able to find that method. It is not able to find whatever the method it is looking for, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
If it is not able to find, it is not able to call the method. If it finds the method, it will call the method. The logic inside the method will be executed, right?
Yes.
Now JRE is not able to find the main method, okay, which is public method, which is static method, which is accepting a string array. So that's why you got a runtime error. So if I make it as a string array, okay. Now this time, if I give integer, I'm returning an integer value. I'll return some value. Okay, I'm returning some integer value. Return. Okay. I declared the return type as integer. I can declare the return type like my wish, right? I can declare the return type, right? I can return the value, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm returning a 5, so I'm declaring the return type as integer. Agreed? So now when I compile this program will be compiled successfully. There is no compilation errors, but you'll get the runtime error because JR is looking for public static void main. It is not looking for int main.
Okay. Mhm.
It is looking for a main method which does not return any value, which is a public method, which is a static method, which is accepting one argument, that is a string array as an argument. Correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have to correct this program and make it as void. Now when I compile this program, will it compile?
No, it has a return type.
So the compilation will be failure now because as per the syntax, you're telling that this method does not return any value, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But you're returning a value, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So
that's
the
an error.
compiler will not allow this. Compiler will not allow this. First of all, forget about running. Forget about running the program. First of all, compilation itself will be failed, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
It's saying that so you cannot return a value from a method whose return type is void.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have to go and make it as remove this return value, correct?
Yep.
Now I have to compile the program. I'll get the latest .class file, and now I can run the program. Any questions here?
No.
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 There's a class in the evening today. There's a class in the evening today at 9 Eastern time. at 9 Eastern time in the evening.
Okay.
Is it fine? Is it fine for everyone? See, we have
Yes.
to do a lot of hard work for sure, because we have to learn so many things in 2 months, because our target completion is on 1st January, right?
Yep.
If you have
Yeah.
to complete by January 1st, we have to speed up. See, if you want only one class per day, I can take only one class per day and I'll skip so many topics. So ultimately you will lose so many things, correct?
Yeah.
I cannot continue this class for 3 months or 4 months. That's not correct, right? Because we have to complete this course as soon as possible, and you have to go for marketing your profiles, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot waste 3 to 4 months of time, then go for and then we can do marketing for your profiles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to complete this course as soon as possible. If you have to complete this course, we have to do a lot of hard work. There's no other way. So if you
Yeah.
think that I have to sleep for 1 hour, I can't wake up in the morning, I have to sleep early. No, I don't want to listen all these things. If you're really interested to learn Java, you have to do a lot of hard work for the next 2 months. That's why I told in the beginning class, for the next 2 months, you have to live with Java, nothing else. You should not keep anything else in your mind. This is your career. You decided Java as your career. That's why you're attending this course, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want your career to be successful, you have to learn the things thoroughly and carefully, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to do a lot of hard work for the next 2 months. I don't want to hear that I can't wake up. It's very difficult for me to wake up in the morning. I am in California. Please remember that. So I'm starting my classes at morning 5 o'clock. So already one batch is completed. This is your second batch. So when I'm able to wake up at 5 o'clock, why you can't wake up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? You should have more interest than me, right? If you
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
interest, fine. I can skip so many topics. I can have only one class per day. I will skip so many topics and I will tell the course is completed. So think about it. And I want everyone to attend in the evening class, and don't skip the classes. That is most important. If you skip one class, you will miss so many things. You don't understand the next class. I'm damn sure about it.
Yeah. Okay.
If you skip one class, you don't understand the other class. But I know
Okay.
there are some constraints for some people. They can't attend in the evening classes. So if that is the case, please go through the recording and come to the next class. Don't come to the next class without going to the recording, without going through the recording. Otherwise, you don't understand the next class. Each and every class is linked with the next class, linked with the previous class.
Okay.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Okay, guys. So let's meet at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Is it fine for everyone? Please tell me if it is fine or not. I want majority of the people to say yes.
Yes.
Ramji.
Yes.
Today 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, if everyone agrees only, then only I take a class. Otherwise, I don't want to waste my time for waiting for you people.
Agree.
And I want everyone to join on time. If you have any difficulty, please let me know that you're joining 10 minutes late or 5 minutes late in the group, so that I can also do my personal work. I can't waste my time sitting in front of laptop waiting for you guys.
Okay.
I won't be
Okay.
joining tonight's class. I'm gonna just watch the record because I
Yeah, I
can't.
know that you have some part-time work. I know that. So you can go through the recording.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Okay. So and tomorrow morning also there is a class at the same time. I forgot your name. What's your name? Just now.
Ikra.
Yeah. So tomorrow morning also there is a class at 9 o'clock. That's your that class.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Evening there is a class at 9 Eastern time. Tomorrow morning at 9 Eastern time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, Ikra, is it fine if if the class is at 10 o'clock?
Yes.
You can attend 10 o'clock class in the evening.
I will do my best. Yeah.
Is it fine for 10 o'clock for everyone?
10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. EST, right, sir? EST,
Yeah,
right,
yes.
Ramji?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will
okay.
take only 1 hour class. Don't worry, I don't take 2 hours class in the evening. 10 to 11.
Yeah, okay.
You should sleep at
Yeah,
11
okay.
o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, I'll send the recording in another 1 hour. Mostly I'll send it in 1 hour. So please go through the recording, practice it. So write your first Java program and compile your program and run the program. Then you will see you will face lot of pain. Definitely to make it compile. I know that you will face lot of pain. You will definitely tell me in the evening that you have undergone through a lot of pain to make it compile. So I want everyone to practice it and come to the evening class.
Okay.
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 Okay. Bye. Bye everyone.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.